That's when the Agbokare letter goes submit in US and he was not arrested, and they arrested Nnamdi Kanu because there's a mission. People have to understand that, and we are still in one Nigeria. Unity of Nigeria is what we need. So you are not ready for unity of Nigeria. That is what I see, and I understand you. And that thing cannot work. You can go ahead, do anything you want. 2027 will flush you out with you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining me in this video. Professor Gael Clavis is one of the most critics of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, and he is now accusing Tinubu of keeping silence or collaborating with the Yoruba activists for self-determination seeking Yoruba nation, of holding Nnamdi Kanu down while supporting Igbo to proceed to his diplomatic steps to dividing Nigeria. And in response, Professor Akintoye, the leader of the self-determination group, has responded that Tinubu is aware of every step they are taking, that Tinubu received a manual for the self-determination of Yoruba nation. So Professor Ngololo is now saying that Tinubu has an agenda to divide Nigeria, since he's aware and indirectly supporting the separation of Nigeria through the Yoruba nation. So these are the issues we want to discuss in this video. Stay with me. At the moment, listen to what Professor Ngololo said.
Message to Central Bank Governor, Femi Cardoso, CBN Governor. You want to reduce 1,000 to disengage them from their work, and you expect to spend 50 trillion. Why? All you are doing is billion, 50 billion. You bought a vehicle, 6 vehicles, 10 billion, Femi Cardoso. Then now you want to disengage people and they are dissing, all the money involved is 50 billion. Why? You own all is billion. You don't have thousands. It's billion, from billion to trillion. What are we talking about? Okay, those people that you want to engage, last one you remove them, you bring Yorubas. Are we in Yoruba Central Bank? We don't have north, east, south. No way. We are not in Central Bank. If your Oga send you there to disengage the whole northern and south, we will not accept it, Oga. Do all what you want to do. 2027, yourself and your master, we will flog you out. Because south and east, you didn't even want us to be there. And we will not tolerate it any longer again. It will be seen that you are putting it only in one side, because last time you disengaged directors. You disengaged 5 from the north, 6 from the south, and all those who remain, only you replace them with Yorubas. Why? Are we not Nigeria? Don't we vote Bola Tinubu? Why is he treating us like this? Why? Is it because our vote is a cost to us in the north and the east and the south, and you say we are one Nigeria? This is Odudua. It's not a distance. It's Odudua. We have said it. That is why the Agbokare letter goes submit in US and he was not arrested, and they arrested Nnamdi Kanu because there's a mission. People have to understand that, and we are still in one Nigeria. Unity of Nigeria is what we need. So you are not ready for unity of Nigeria. That is what I see, and I understand you. And that thing cannot work. You can go ahead, do anything you want. 2027 will flush you out with your Oga. We will the way Anyefele end up. See how Anyefele it is. You're still facing the cases. You will face those cases in the court. Just wait the time to come. You will see it, inshallah.
Yoruba Nation Manual, which guides self-determination struggle, is already with the Nigerian president, Professor Akintoye declares. How does this sound to you? Professor Gael Clavis is accusing Tinubu, Akintoye, and Sunday Igbo that they want to divide Nigeria. That why should they hold Nnamdi Kanu down while supporting Sunday Igbo in his diplomatic steps? Now, Professor Banji Akintoye, Yoruba self-determination movement, Ilana Omo Oduwan leader, has explained that the Yoruba self-determination struggle published a manual since 2020 to guide the activities of the struggle, and it is already with the Nigerian president. Akintoye added that an activist, Sunday Adeyemo, more commonly called Sunday Igbo, is not committing any crime under Nigerian law or the international community for leading a self-determination movement for the indigenous Yoruba people. Akintoye comments were in response to critics from Fulani leader, including Professor Gael Clavis, who have accused Igbo of being a criminal. However, Akintoye maintained that Igbo's action align with international law and the Nigerian Constitution, which guarantees the right to self-determination. The historian also provided context to Igbo's intervention in Igbanga, where he helped to expel Fulani militias who had been terrorizing local communities. Akintoye, in an article he wrote, described the Fulani agenda as a quest for territorial expansion and domination, which has resulted in violence and displacement of the indigenous population. He wrote, Professor Gololo thinks that seeking self-determination for one's nation is a crime. This highly educated compatriot of ours is grossly wrong in that view. Demanding self-determination for one's nation is entirely in accordance with the provision of the international law and of the Nigerian law. The United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People affirms that indigenous people have the right to self-determination, and that members of indigenous people have the right to seek to retrieve their nation's self-determination from the country that their nation currently belongs to, provided that they do it without violence or disruptiveness. The African Charter of Human and People's Rights fully affirms exactly the same. Now, since Nigeria is a member of the United Nations and the African Union, and a signatory to these two nations' international law, both laws are part of the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Former Nigerian President Buhari, speaking at the United Nations General Assembly in 2016 and 2017, acknowledged that if any nation in Nigeria seeks self-determination peacefully through a peaceful organization, that the Nigerian state would have no other option than to negotiate with such a nation. President Buhari even added that it is immoral to deny self-determination to any nation that peacefully seeks for it. Therefore, since the Yoruba self-determination struggle is well known to be an avowedly and consistently peaceful and law-abiding movement, Sunday Igboho, as a leader of it, is breaking no law of Nigeria. No activist in the struggle for Yoruba self-determination and separation from Nigeria is breaking any law. As Professor Gololo may not know, the Yoruba self-determination struggle published a manual in 2020 to guide the activities of the struggle and inform its Yoruba people and the rest of the world about its choosing path to self-determination of the Yoruba nation. Copies of this manual, titled Yoruba Nation Chooses the Noble Path to its Noble Goal, was sent to the President of Nigeria and to the Secretary General of the United Nations in response to Professor Gololo's massively fired attack against Sunday Igboho on social media. The highest organ of the Yoruba self-determination struggle has directed that the manual be forwarded widely disseminated, and that a copy must be made to reach Professor Gololo. Our Yoruba self-determination struggle is a peaceful, law-abiding, civilized, and competent movement. We know our rights. We are charitable towards others, but we don't tolerate unjust persecution of our people. We want our Fulani compatriots to give up their campaign of falsehood against one of our foremost leaders, Sunday Igboho. The article continues, but let me stop the article here. So what is going on in this issue is that a lot of people in Nigeria, I made a video like this in the past, a lot of people in Nigeria think or they believe that self-determination is a crime. When you want to separate from the country you are, that is a crime. When you said, I am no longer a Nigerian, I want Biafra, I want Yoruba nation, I want Arewa nation, I want the Edo nation, that if such quest just arise, meaning the person is committing a crime, it is not a crime. You see, there was another video I talked about the story of the blind man, how people were blind in that community, and when someone came to help them, they wanted the person to remove his eyes again because they see no compatibility between someone who sees and them that don't see. So in a blind nation, even though you are a professor could also be blind. Yeah. Even though you are a priest, you could be blind. You are a prophet, you can have a blind prophet who never sees in a blind nation. So Nigeria is such a country that could be termed as a blind nation, because look at what Professor is saying. Even though he's asking a very noble question, but how could you say that self-determination is a crime? Because someone said that let us separate, let this country divide, and you think it's a crime?
Ƙasar nan ta rabu, a raba ta kawai. Wallahi, a ra'ayina da masu ra'ayi irin nawa, ƙasar nan ta rabu, a raba ta kawai. A raba ta, Oduduwa su ɗauki nasu, Biafra su ɗauki nasu, mu musulmi mu ɗauki namu. Wallahi wannan shine solution. A raba ta, a raba ƙasar, wannan shine ra'ayinmu, a raba ta. Su ci man su umma mai ɗin ne. A bar mu da shanunmu, a bar mu da wakenmu, a bar mu da gyaɗanmu, a bar mu da shinkafanmu, a bar mu da dawanmu, a bar mu da geronmu. Ku je ku ci fetur ɗin, ku je ku ci, a raba ƙasar. Mu samu mu ɗabbaka shari'ar musulunci. Ba wata shegiya Ngozi ko Dabora da za ta zo ta fi tsirara suke rabin mamanta a waje ta ɓata tarbiyyar 'ya'yanmu, ta ɓata, ba shegin da ta yi haka da sunan constitution ya ba da right. Babu wannan. A rabu kawai. Wallahi rabuwan ƙasa ne shine alheri ga musulunci, ga musulmai. Wallahi tallahi shine. Kuma shine munafukan cikin mu da su ƙara bayyana mu gano su, ko kudu ko arewa. Wallahi a raba ta, domin ba za mu yarda ana kashe mana 'yan uwan musulmi ba, mu kuma su suna zaune a nan lafiya. Ba zai yi ba. Gwamnati ki ta kinnot, ba za mu yarda ba. Ba za mu yadda a kashe mutane musu suna zaune a lafiya suna ɗebe matattalin arzikin ƙasa ba. Ba za mu yadda ba wannan ba. An fa zo wajen red line, ba za mu yadda da wannan ba. Shine gaskiyar magana, ba za mu yadda ba. Yawwa, ko da a yi stopping ko kuma a yi yaƙi, wannan shine gaskiyar magana. Wallahi